There's something about Christmas in the 1960s that just hits differently. Maybe it was the glow of the tree lights reflecting off silver tinsel, or the smell of pine mixed with canned spray snow. Or maybe it was that moment when the living room lights dimmed. The record player spun a Nat King Cole holiday album, and everything felt a little bit magical. Because back then, Christmas was a whole mood. Hi, I'm your host, and this is Stuff We Loved. Today, we're stepping back into a time when Christmas decorating was both glamorous and wonderfully kitschy. Let's revisit the most popular, most unforgettable Christmas decorations that filled our homes during the 1960s. These are the ones that made the season sparkle, shimmer, and sometimes shed a little tinsel on the carpet. If you were a kid in the 1960s, Christmas started the moment the boxes storing all of the holiday decorations came out of storage. They were dusty, slightly dented, and full of treasures that only appeared once a year. Opening those boxes was like opening a time capsule of joy. You'd find tangled strings of blinking Christmas tree lights, a few glass ornaments that somehow survived another year, and strands of silver tinsel that clung to everything like static magic. And in the corner, wrapped in tissue paper, you often found the star, the one that always went on top of the tree. If you were lucky, it was the kind that lit up, a glowing star with points that shined red, gold, or silver. After getting everything ready to go, the decorating ritual began, and every family had their own version of it. Mom would handle the delicate ornaments. Dad would wrestle with the lights, muttering under his breath when one bulb ruined the whole string. And the kids? Kids were often on tinsel duty, hanging each strand on tree branches, one by one, until the tree sparkled from every angle. And speaking of sparkle, let's talk about one of the most iconic sights of all: the silver aluminum Christmas tree. Nothing said modern holiday quite like that shiny aluminum tree. It was sleek, futuristic, and straight out of a mid-century magazine. There were no pine needles to pick up off the floor, and this tree didn't need to be watered. The tree's branches, made of shimmering metallic foil, reflected light in every direction. Many families paired their aluminum tree with a color wheel light. It was a rotating electric disc that changed the tree's color from red to blue to gold. You didn't need ornaments when you had that lighting effect because the entire tree was the ornament. It glowed like a spaceship and made your living room feel like the Jetsons were coming over for dinner. However, if you did put some ornaments on it, you chose ornaments in colors like blue, red, or silver, which matched well with the tree's shiny silver branches. Some people thought it was glamorous. Others thought it was downright tacky. But either way, you couldn't take your eyes off it. Glass and plastic ornaments. Every tree had them. Traditional ornaments were usually decorative bright red, green, gold, silver, or blue balls, often made of thin glass that could shatter if you even looked at them too hard. By the mid-60s, Lightweight plastic ornaments started to replace the fragile ones. These plastic ornaments were often round balls with decorative centers, or they were molded into snowflakes, bells, or little Santas with painted smiles. And if you were a kid, you probably had a favorite ornament. Maybe it was a glitter-covered snowman, or one shaped like a tiny drum. That ornament always got a special spot on the tree, front and center. Tinsel and spray snow. Ah, tinsel. The holiday decoration that was both mesmerizing and maddening. Each strand had to be placed just right. It was never clumped onto a branch, and certainly never haphazardly thrown onto the tree. Of course, by the end of the night, there were silver threads on the rug, in your hair, and probably stuck to the family dog. And then there was canned spray snow. People used it on windows, mirrors, and even the corners of the TV console. You'd see stenciled snowflakes and frosty edges on every window pane. Even if you lived somewhere that hadn't seen snow in 20 years or ever. It was instant wintry season in a can. And spray snow made it easy to achieve a snowy winter's day atmosphere on the inside of the home. And that snow effect stayed put until it was washed off of surfaces. The smell of that spray, though, chemical and piney at the same time, instantly said, "It's Christmas." The 1960s were an interesting time for Christmas decor. America was booming. And there was this space-age optimism mixed with suburban comfort. Designers were inspired by modernism, atomic age style, and the idea that the future was bright and shiny. That's how we got metallic trees, chrome ornaments, and electric light decorations that made every home feel high-tech and festive. Before this era, decorations were more traditional, meaning there was lots of real greenery, muted colors, and handmade touches. But in the 60s, people wanted glamour. Christmas was an opportunity to enhance your home with color, light, and a touch of theatrical sparkle. Even table settings got a modern makeover with red and gold runners, faux greenery, and plastic holly berries that looked good year after year. Christmas decorating in the 60s was a family event, but it was also a little competitive. If your neighbors had blinking lights, you might add a Santa and reindeer set to your front yard the next year. If they got a color wheel for their aluminum tree, well, you were getting one too. Outside decorations started becoming a big deal. There were glowing plastic Santas, reindeer on the roof, and sometimes a sleigh perched dangerously on top of a carport. And inside, every home had its own special touches. The red and white felt stockings hanging by the fireplace, the white pillar candles on the dining table, sometimes unscented, sometimes smelling faintly of cinnamon, and that miniature Christmas village scene, complete with little houses, a church, trees, and maybe a quaint village store or two. Some electric villages had a tiny train that circled around endlessly until someone tripped over the cord. If you had young kids under the age of 8 or 9, There was probably a construction paper garland strung somewhere across the room. These garlands were hand-cut green and red sturdy paper loops and proudly taped together. And on the kitchen counter, maybe there was a gingerbread house. Sometimes gingerbread houses were made from scratch. Sometimes they were made from a kit. But they were always missing a few gumdrops by Christmas Eve. Christmas decorations back then brought us a sense of joy that we'll always fondly remember. Every piece of tinsel, every blinking bulb, every paper chain told the story of a family celebrating together. Looking back, those decorations might seem old-fashioned, or even a little corny now. But to us, they were magic. They made the house glow. They made ordinary rooms feel special. And even though styles have changed from silver trees to minimalist white ones, from blinking bulbs to LED, the feeling they give us is similar to how it was back then. That excitement you felt when you plugged in the lights for the first time, that's the same feeling people have today. It's just wrapped in a different style. Because Christmas has always been about wonder. About creating a world, even just for a few weeks, where everything sparkles, everything glows, and everyone feels a little more connected. So yes, maybe the tinsel got messy. Maybe the spray snow never quite got completely washed off the windows. But those little imperfections, that's what made it ours. So tell me, which of these 1960s Christmas decorations do you remember most? Did your family have one of those silver trees? Or maybe you made paper garland chains or sprayed the windows until you couldn't see outside anymore. If this brought back cozy memories, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who remembers when Christmas meant sparkle, simplicity, and just a touch of glittery chaos. Thanks for watching Stuff We Loved. I'll see you next time. Until then, may your memories glow as bright as those old Christmas lights.